once heard that in Ayurvedic medicine, that venerable medical system from antiquity in India, that a remedy for nervous tension and agitation would be listening to the wind through trees in a forest. Now, how about that for a recommendation from a doctor?
Yeah.
We're heading there, aren't we?
We are. And if you said that in certain groups and certain audiences, you might even be able to hear people's eyes rolling back in their heads. What's happening is the neuroscientific basis for just precisely that is coming. It's coming on. It's not difficult to see how these dots will be connected. Listening to the sounds of nature can be shown to reduce stress. And we know that stress causes disease. Protection of nature and access to it is a public health question, plain and simple.
But imagine how difficult it is to walk in the sunlight if you live in Shanghai and there's no sun.
I think it's tough. And what people do when they live day to day in a place that is, let's just call it sunless for the moment, they plan and they save and they long for what we call vacation, what other people in other times have called pilgrimage. I believe the longing and planning can be calming, knowing that on that particular day, the pilgrimage or vacation begins, and you go to the water, or you go to the wind, and you look at it and you listen to it.
How do we make it available to children that are in urban settings that don't have money? Because we obviously have to give them that connection to the sun, the forest, the oceans. What would be your recommendation for families that are of reduced means in a more urban setting?
Well, a lot of the places that I've lived and where I've traveled that are urban, you don't need to go too far. It doesn't take too long to get out of town. And generally you can get on a train and pick a direction and go for anywhere from half an hour to an hour and be quite removed from city life. I think it needs to begin as a habit as early as possible, and that's hard to do.
Now with the internet, with video games, either wreaking their havoc or occasionally inspiring, children's brains function differently. How do we use the new technologies to actually inoculate nature back into the internet childhood?
Well, we're going to be presented with increasingly, truly amazing technologies and tools for kind of, fooling our brains into thinking that we're actually experiencing something when in fact it will be a digital version of it in 3D with surround sound. And even the best IMAX film about the ocean comes nowhere near just sitting down at the edge of the water in maybe an unremarkable patch of ocean. As the technology advances, maybe that will change a bit.
Well, it's hard to taste a strawberry unless you actually taste a strawberry.
Yeah, exactly. A film about the ocean works a lot better if you've been to and in an ocean somewhere. I think the technology and the learning tools that are available are, at best, at least now, supplements to the